Good afternoon and welcome to Bellow Field on the campus of Tufts University. It is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in Medford, and there is nothing better on a day like this than some NESCAC lacrosse. Of course, nothing makes NESCAC lacrosse better than playing for a cause, and today we are playing for a good one, as today's game is dedicated to Green Dot, a bystander intervention program that aims to proactively and reactively prevent sexual misconduct on campus. For more information on Green Dot, please visit the table outside where you can speak to student executives. I'm Riley Daniel. Alongside me here for this JumboCast presentation of NESCAC Lacrosse is Niles Lowe. Niles, we got a treat in store today. The Bates Bobcats come to town looking for their first NESCAC win on the season, and they have quite a foe to face, the now #1 ranked Tufts Jumbos. Niles, after what we've seen from this Jumbos team in the last couple of weeks, when they're at their best, is there another team in D3 lacrosse that can compete with them?
Yeah, Riley, great to be here with you. When the Jumbos start to click, there's really nothing that can slow them down on either end, whether that's on offense, their ability to seemingly score at will, or on defense, their ability to take the ball away, to play in transition, to push the ball down the field. This is a Jumbos team that is looking well-rounded and really hitting their peak at a great time in the season as they finish off this last stretch of NESCAC games. Yeah, going to be an exciting one today.
Yeah, you spoke about last stretch of NESCAC games. Jumbos have 3 left, including tonight, and if things go right tonight, they can clinch not only the playoff spot that they've already clinched, but a first-round NESCAC tournament game right here on Bellow. 3 things need to happen for that to be the case. The Jumbos need to win. Hamilton, which is currently tied with Williams, 7-7, needs to win that game. And last but not least, Amherst needs to lose to the Conn College Camels, who gave the Jumbos such a fright on Saturday. If those 3 things happen, we will guarantee that the Jumbos will be playing here on Bellow into May. Niles, what do the Jumbos need to do today to take care of their part of that equation?
Yeah, I think today it's going to start at the face-off X for senior Mason Cohn. He's been really amazing all this season, facing off at, in the last 2 games, 73%, going up against a weaker Bates face-off duo. So it's going to start with him in the transition game, but it's also going to come from the offense, the ability to put up points, deny transition opportunities, ride hard. I think the Jumbos have a lot of good things going for them. They just need to come out and execute today.
Yeah, one stat, fun for y'all back at home. April 14th, 2018. That is the last time the Jumbos lost a NESCAC game here on Bellow Field. Not a single player on this roster has ever lost a NESCAC game on this home turf. And they're looking to keep that streak going today. What a place, what a team, and it's just an absolute privilege to watch them each and every day. And I think you got to start, when we're talking about players, you got to start with 28 as always, right, Niles?
Yeah, and he's had a relatively quiet couple of games as he's been locked off ball. So look for him to create opportunities for himself, whether it's off dead balls on the end line or whether that's, screens when a short stick defender is taken behind. Just look for him to create those opportunities for himself because they're not going to come easy for him. I expect Bates to lock him off early and often and likely for his whole time playing today.
At this time, we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer for the anthem and starting lineups. We'll be with you on the other side.
Hands off to Simon Tweety, starting line starting first.
to stay quiet because he's leaving our mics on.
Our junior midfielder, number 11, Lowell Hairston. A sophomore defender, number 15, Colton Curtis. A senior faceoff, number 27, Jackson Williams. A first-year defender, number 36, Jacob Kajababian. Junior attack, number 45, Alex Horowitz. A junior attack, number 55, Will Masterson. And in goal, a first-year, number 38, Drew Nias. Bobcats are assisted by Thomas Gonzalski and Andrew Smithad. And the head coach of his first season at Bates College is Dan Anino. The Bobcats of Bates College. And now the starting lineups for your Tufts University Jumbos. A senior attack, number 23, Tommy Swank. A sophomore defender, number 27, Joey Waldbaum. A senior attack, number 28, Jack Boyden. A senior attack, number 33, Kurt Broom. A senior faceoff, number 39, Mason Cone. A sophomore defender, number 43, George Panagopoulos. A senior defender, number 44, Kyle Engelman. A sophomore defender, number 51, Michael Ayers. A senior midfielder, number 55, Joe Murtha. And in goal, a senior, number 25, Cody Wee. Jumbos are assisted by Stephen Toomey, Colin Kirsten, Aiden Hessian. Head coach in his 7th season is Casey Dinolfo. Fans out this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please rise, remove your caps, and face the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back here to Bello, and for those of you who couldn't hear, one big surprise in the starting lineup, and that is in net for the Jumbos will be Cody Weeb, the senior, getting his first start of the season. Niles, your thoughts on that decision from Coach Dinolfo?
Yeah, I think Cody Weeb's been great all season in the couple games that he's played in, the save percentage of 52. I sort of am unsure why the change came, but exciting opportunity for Weeb here to get his first start of the season and make an immediate impact for this Jumbos defense.
Yeah, it is tough to wonder what really is the cause of that decision. You wonder how much of that is knowing just how big of a game Saturday is for this Jumbos team.
Yeah, I imagine part of it's rest and part of it is this Bates team has been struggling all year under first-year head coach Dan Anino, so I expect the Jumbos to give some new looks today, maybe some stuff we haven't seen all season, and mix it up. But one thing that's not being mixed up in this game is Mason Cone at the X.
Yeah, Mason Cone over the last couple of weeks has made me forget the name Parker Merrill, which I never thought I would. Niles.
Yeah, and Mason Cone's face-off percentage this season has him in the top 5 for D3 at 72%.
Though he loses that one. Off the start, ground ball still being fought for, collected by Ayers, and the Jumbos will look to attack. Cone, right side Kurt Brune. Ayers has a shot way over Swank's going to win the race. Jumbo's now reset. Tagliaferri.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind, Riley, in the first part of this game is that unlike many past games at Bello, the sun is out in full force today, so the Jumbo's goalie, I can't imagine Weeb is seeing a lot.
Oh, what a shot from Tommy Swank. Yeah, I mean, in net for the Bobcats is Nias. He doesn't have the sun blinding him right now, but he still didn't see that from Tommy Swank. It came in so fast.
Yeah, and Swank, who had 2 goals and 1 assist against College last week, looks like he has no intention of slowing down today. Quick goal for the Jumbos here. Less than 40 seconds came off the clock.
See if the Jumbos can win this ground ball. Cone back out on the dot. And in violation on Cone. We saw this a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of the game against Middlebury a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, face-off guys ride this thin line where you're trying to anticipate the whistle and you're trying to go as early as possible without, going super early. So we've seen in the last couple weeks, like you said, takes a couple of face-offs for him to settle in, and after that first penalty, I sort of expect him to be dialed in for the rest of this game.
Jake Johnson here trying to get around Murtha. Murtha not having any of it. That's off the tip of the stick, and it'll go out. That'll be Jumbo's ball. And that's really been a problem that's plagued this Bobcats team this year. A turnover margin of 12 against on average. Del Cristo now. With speed. All the way in. Just missed. Comes the Swank. Boyden pass down low is intercepted. A nice play there by Alex Neville.
Yeah, great heads-up play there from Neville. Read the pass the whole way. Boyden tried to get away with the no-look there, but Neville, the senior defender, was having none of that. And, yeah, really just gobbled it up. Boyden didn't have a chance on that pass.
See if the Jumbos ride here. They decide not to. A successful clear. No, they were offsides. Jumbo's going to go quickly for Zoli. Brune. Del Cristo just missed with that skip shot.
Yeah, and Del Cristo, good bounce shot there. Trying to put it low and away on the run. If that was on net, you would think that would have a good chance, but...
Swank again, same result.
Yeah, and, I mean, Swank right off the end line, it's just too easy. A goalie really doesn't have a chance there. The Bates defenders need to come out and play heavy on the hands, put some pressure on these attackmen. Otherwise, it's just going to be a shooting drill for the Jumbos.
I mean, I have written down in my notes about Swank and his counterpart on the right side, Kurt Brune, just the word sniper. And I feel like that is the best description of those two attackmen.
Absolutely, and now we see Salcedo at the X here. Jumbos have mixed up their face-off men this season, alternating between Cone and Salcedo. Both face-off men having a great season as Salcedo comes up with this one.
Yeah, it's really rare that you have two, not counting Parker Romero, who hopefully will be back in a couple games, face-off men who are above 55%, but the Jumbos do.
Yeah, and that's a big part of the reason why this Jumbo's offense has been so successful. When you have successful face-off men, you just get so much volume on this offensive part of the field, and at some point these shots have to go.
Boyden tried a really ambitious pass, but once again picked off by Alex Neville.
Yeah, Neville's been all over these skip passes twice in a row now. I don't expect the Jumbo's offense to keep trying to force it.
At the same time, though, with Jack Boyden, you almost wonder if it is only a matter of time.
Yeah, absolutely. His ability to both feed and shoot is what makes him so dangerous. And early on, we see that Bates has not taken the approach that many other teams have taken of fully locking him off with their best deep hole. So I wonder if they switch to that strategy later on.
Jumbos with an early double here. Bates able to break through. They can look to attack now with Ben Miller. Try to pass. Long shot, score! A nice finish there from Connor Hartman, the first year. And you mentioned it a minute ago, Niles. The sun. I don't know how much Cody Weeb saw that one.
Yeah, and Connor Hartman, like you said, the freshman with now 13 goals on the season. Really just a great take for this Bates offense. And yeah, this sun is pretty brutal now for Weeb in goal. Like you said, I cannot imagine he saw much of that shot, making it a really tough matchup right now.
And This time the violation going the other way, so Mason Cone gets his first draw win of the day.
Yeah, Burden there just went a little bit early. Both face-off guys a little jumpy early on in this game, but
Kurt Brune tries to go low-high, and that one, wow. That one hit off the little flag stick, dead center. Brune just painting his spot underneath the crossbar.
yeah, Swank and Brune, two great shooters from both wings now. When you can stretch the field on offense like this, it's a really tough matchup. You're basically asking your defenders to come out and play attackmen on the wings aggressively, which is not something you have to do against most teams. Impressive offensive showing for the Jumbos so far.
Another face-off won by the Jumbos. Mason Cone looking to attack now. Hand off to Brune. Frizzoli. Back to Brune. Double comes on Brune now. Boyden playing at that point spot. Brune. Jumbo subbing here. Brune just holding on to it, looking for something. Eddinghausen on for his first touch.
Yeah, and it looks like Bates is in a zone here. So look for the Jumbos to find inside cutters, really try to open up the middle of this zone, try to stretch it thin, and then make that skip pass to the backside like Boyden's attempted a couple
Brune gets
times.
doubled, flip to Boyden, behind the back to Swank, low high, just missed.
Yeah, good
Oh
take.
boy, that would have been something.
Yeah, good take there from the Jumbos. Like I said, look for them to stretch the top part of this field with Brune and Boyden up top, and then look for the backside with either Swank or Brune to take the shot.
Boyden, back to Swank. Another shot, another goal. Come on. Tommy Swank might be working on a new career high. 3 goals in just over 4 minutes here.
And yeah, like I mentioned, so you'll notice that normally Boyden's behind the goal at X, but now they have him up top, and they'll move the ball to him, and he'll carry, dragging defenders across the top of the zone, and that leaves Swank to follow in his footsteps with a step-down shot. Really just simple offense for the Jumbos, and everything's clicking right now for them.
Another draw. Another one won by Mason Cone.
Yeah, and they're going to call him for withholding there, so he had the ball in the back of his stick and dragged it on the ground. Some refs are a little bit more lenient with that call than others, but
Bates really looking for something. It looked as if they had a bit of momentum after that first goal, but the Jumbos quickly took it back. And this has been a problem for Bates in their NESCAC play. When they have lost games, they have lost them big.
yeah, and this is really, I think, our first look at this Bates offense in a settled set. You can see now they have a lot of offensive players along the top part of this box.
Here now, little dodge there from Brinkus. Trying to get around, can't see who that was, but the pass will stay with the Bobcats. Horowitz with it, 30 to shoot. A little bit of a screen, and that's going the other way. As that was a clear trip.
Yeah, and Waldbaum looks a little shaken up behind the net, but he does walk it off as the Jumbos look to clear here.
Jumbo's clear attempt. Bates with not much of a ride, just kind of holding at the midline. Jumbo's clear successfully. Tagliaferri gets knocked there by Ben Miller, and now Bates can look to counter.
Yeah, Tagliaferri just a little bit too loose, cradling in one hand there. Ben Miller with a great check, able to dislodge that. And again, this Bates offense has had a lot of opportunities, and they really need to take advantage of Weeb's inability to see those shots from directly in front. Really
a little bit of a trouble transitioning for the Jumbos. Pass, skip pass from Miller, wouldn't quite get through. That one bounces, picked up by Masterson. Skip pass all the way across, wasn't controlled by Hartman, who's going to have to go save it. Out to challenge him there is Drew Guida for the Jumbos. Hartman all the way through, saved by Weeb.
And that's got to be a great feeling for Weeb, starting this game and coming up with his first big save. Look for him to build on that as we finish this first quarter.
And the Jumbos bench telling Drew Guida to get up as they sense that there is a little bit of a trouble substituting for the Bobcats right now. Jumbo's going to look to take advantage. Tagliaferri. Regnery coming in behind him. Instead, he'll swing Boyden.
Yep, and Bates has settled back into the zone. It looks like they'll stick with this at least until the Jumbos continue to punish.
Brune shot just wide. Tagliaferri on the X. Not a spot we usually see him in. Boyden. Kevin Christmas in now. Tagliaferri had Christmas, instead swings Boyden. Little spin dodge. Gets hacked. And going the other way are the Bobcats. Going quickly is Colton Curtis. To the other side, Hartman will slow it down. Allow the Jumbos to get back defensively. Jumbos want too many men.
And they would be correct as the 7th Bates player crosses the midline, and the Jumbos are certainly going to go fast here.
Oh, yeah, they're going to go fast. Regnery, Brune. Down low, just missed Joe Murtha's stick. And it'll go the other way. Good look, though, from Kurt Brune.
Yeah, unlucky there for Murtha. Looked like he tried to quick stick that one and just didn't get a good enough piece of it. But good opportunity for the Jumbos. How many times have we seen them go so fast on those dead ball situations, especially around the midline, Riley? They're just not afraid to push the pace in these unsettled sets, even with defenders and long poles still in the field.
It seems almost uncertain of what to do with the Jumbos' lack of a rider right now, but they are able to clear that one with Jake Johnson. And Hartman once again against the deep hole of Edelman. And Hartman seems to be the focal point of this Bates offense, at least through this first quarter.
Yeah, with about 7 minutes left here, Bates again really just needs to capitalize on these offensive opportunities as another shot is saved by Weeb.
Yeah, real good save by Cody Weeb. Couldn't see much of it, that shot from Cooper Lance, but got enough of it. And now he can look to clear it himself, and might. Weeb just manages to get it to Boyden, almost overcooked that one. Or excuse me, Kurt Brune on it. Now Boyden. Tagliaferri. Screen from Murtha. Once again, the Jumbos bring Christmas back into this set. Swank. Boyden back to Swank. Extra pass, Christmas. Boyden from distance. Can he have a shot? Instead, Brune. 30 to shoot for the Jumbos. Skip pass. Swank looking for goal number 4 on the day. Tagliaferri inside. Just missing that one was Jack Regnery sneaking in back door. 20 to shoot. No look to Brune. Boyden shot. Blocked. 15. Tagliaferri, no look, Christmas. What a save there by Nias. He had no right.
Yeah, and interesting that we're seeing Nias at net instead of Fitzsimons, but yeah, great save. Both goalies now having 2 saves on the day. As the sun starts to settle behind some clouds, I expect Weeb to have a little bit more luck with some visibility on his between the pipes right now.
Yeah. Though you wonder, is this the worst of the sun? Because we've seen many a lax game here on Bella where often as a timeout being called by the Bates bench, the second quarter is the worst sun-wise, with it right above those train tracks, right in the goalkeeper's eyes.
Yeah, an early timeout for Bates here, deciding to use a timeout with about 5 minutes left in this first quarter. I suspect that this is because there's been a couple offensive opportunities now for Bates where they've been in settled offense and really just haven't been able to get anything going. So I expect the coach here to be, either discussing things that they had discussed earlier in the game or writing up something new, try to mix up some looks for this Jumbos defense, see if they can find some success in these settled opportunities.
A little bit of a score update for you from around the NESCAC. From Clinton, New York, Hamilton is taking care of their part of the equation. They are up 10-7 on the Eafs, but on the other side, Amherst doing their job. Not going to allow the Jumbos, it looks like, an easy path to clinching a first-round home game tonight as they are up 5-2 quickly on the Conn College Camels.
Yeah, and if you're this Jumbos offense, Swank and Brune are having all the opportunities that they could want from these wings, but against the zone that Bates is showing, I expect them to do a lot more of the probing that you're seeing from Boyden up top, trying to drag two defenders together, either sweeping across the top or stepping in and pump faking. Again, this Jumbo's offense has so far not really come up with any like missed opportunities against this Bates defense, but it'll be interesting to see what sorts of looks we see for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think not just looks, but I think the other question that you and I were talking about a little bit pregame was personnel. Who will we see tonight in a different role than we've seen them so far this year? Will it be some of the underclassmen getting more minutes tonight? Will it be some of the seniors stepping into different roles? But right now, the Jumbo's just trying to really push the lead here as the Bobcats, after looking like they were about to get blown straight out of Medford like the wind, have kind of dug in a little bit here on Bella.
Yeah, and like I said, 5 minutes left in this first quarter, calling a timeout. If the Bates offense needs a time to look sharp and have a deliberate possession, this would be the one. So look for them to settle in here and create some opportunities, especially on the back end for players like Horowitz, for players like Jake Johnson.
Yeah, you want to talk about interesting tactical decisions. Jumbo's did make a switch on that Bates timeout. Ethan O'Neill back in, Drew Guida out defensively. Thoughts behind that?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of keeping fresh legs. You know Bates is going to come out hot on this possession. Guida had, already played a little bit of defense as well as an offensive possession. I think it's as simple as just keeping guys fresh. And
yeah, Masterson on the X, tries to spin dodge, gets yanked down, missed the shot. Will stay with Bates. They got 22 to shoot. Klingbeil faces up. Good D there from Sam Sturham. Not allowing him the corner. 10 now. Masterson being hounded by Edelman. Bates got 3 to shoot. And they're just going to chuck that into the corner as the Jumbos force a shot clock violation there.
And frustrating possession from Bates. You call a timeout. You set up in the offense that you thought was going to have some success against this Jumbo's defense, and you don't even get a shot on the net. Those are the types of possessions that just cannot come up empty.
Oh, that was nearly a really nice play by Will Masterson, but went out. And the Jumbos.
And Masterson cannot stand there.
And yeah, Sanford Zola's going to go quickly.
Yeah, and just unlucky for Bates there. Masterson looked like he almost came up with an interception, but unable to snatch that one away, and it bounces right out of bounds. Easy clear rather for the Jumbo's offense.
Brune on the X now, Sanford Zoli. Swank jumps to keep that one. Gets it right back from Brune. Gonna spin back to Brune. Looks to dodge. Double comes Boyden. Fake the shot. Skip pass. Dodge there. Shot from Swank. Goal from Swank. What else is new?
Yeah, and it looked like News got a piece of that, and you can see him throw his hands up in frustration. It looked like he had that the whole way, but Swank with just too much power behind his 4th goal of this game. And again, you have to wonder how long Bates sticks in this zone because this Jumbo's offense is currently picking it apart.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can guess why they went to the zone. They, like a lot of teams, went to the tapes, saw what Jack Boyden's been doing, and said, we need to change something to deal with him. A lot of teams have gone to that, putting their best deep hole on him and just trying to play lockdown on Jack Boyden. And it's been somewhat successful. Bates tried this different strategy, and yeah, it's done a good job preventing Jack Boyden from getting anything, but it's allowing Tommy Swank to get hands-free on pretty much every possession, and that's just not going to work defensively.
Yeah, and good 50-50 scrap there from both teams on that face-off. Ultimately comes up with Bates. Looked like that was Salcedo taking that one. And it looks like they're going for that mixed approach, alternating Salcedo and Cone, a strategy they've had some luck with this season.
Masterson, 55 against 55, faced up against Murtha.
Yeah, and Masterson leading the team with 17 goals.
Gets inside out, shot, low high, just missed. And a good hustle play there by Ben Verzoli to win that race.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Masterson needs to be the offense today for this Bates team, whether that's facilitating or scoring or something. He needs to be the motor behind this Bates offense. He needs to be the one that kickstarts them into gear.
Tagliaferri with a lot of juice, but that one sailed way high. Swank, quick to reset. A little bit of a skip pass. Can Swank keep it in? Yes, he can.
Yeah, that one came out of Tagliaferri's stick in a weird way, and he is limping a little bit behind the net. Looks like he might have gotten stepped on.
Brune, dodge. Swank. Oh, good slide there from Jacob Kojabadian to prevent Swank from goal number 5. Brune, hard drive, low high, just missed. Regner able to pick up the ground ball, but gets it picked out of his pocket by Kojabadian.
Yeah, great defensive possession there. Bates is able to stop 2 shots, both of which were pretty nice takes from this Jumbo's offense. And again, these are the situations where Bates is somehow able to slow down this electric Jumbo's offense, and they need to come up with some sort of offense of their own.
Yeah, I mean, Bates has struggled really offensively this season. 91 goals on the season, but 24 of those came in their sole win against Mass Maritime. The rest of the way, only 67 goals in 9 games.
Yeah, good stick there from Waldbaum, able to put his stick in the lane, an easy scoop up for Weeb. This ball will go the other way, and another empty possession for Bates.
Weeb will look to clear here. No ride at all from the Bobcats. And Edelman able to clear easily there to Salcedo.
Yeah, might be the easiest clear the Jumbos have had all season. Bates putting very little pressure near the midline.
Boyden still looking for his first point of the day. Just missing that one was Kurt Brune. And even though that didn't work out, Coach Adolfo has to be happy with that offensive possession. If you get Kurt Brune that look, you're going to take it every time.
Yeah, agreed. It was a good offensive look, but you have to be a little bit frustrated as Coach Adolfo that, those are the types of shots that you need to back up as an offense. It needs to stay on that offensive end because a shot like that with no backup is just a turnover.
Base bench calling for a tip. They're not getting it. Wasn't intentional. Almost looked like a bit of a Gilman clear there.
Yeah, and Coach Anino frustrated, but again, this Bates offense just can't seem to find their groove, unable to settle into an offense. It seems like they're unable to stand up to the pressure of this Tufts D.
Ethan O'Neill now. GLE Swank, pass inside. Oh, what a save there by Nias on Kurt Brune. Boyden, spin dodge, gets inside out. Back to Swank. What a save by Nias. Double comes. Jumbo's not going to let any clear happen, but Bates going to able to see out the end of the first quarter. And at the end of 1 from Bello, Jumbo's 5, Bobcats 1. Niles, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Yeah, I think both teams got what they wanted out of that. Obviously, Jumbo's sort of stunted in their offensive production, a couple of empty possessions, but Bates on the other end just not putting in quality shots, not able to find the net. The one situation that comes to mind is when they call that timeout and don't even get a shot on goal. So frustrating for Bates, but honestly, given how Brune and Swank are playing, I think they're lucky that it's only 5-1.
Yeah, this game is being played not just for Green Dot, but for another cause, as the Tufts men's lacrosse team is dedicating today's game to the life and legacy of Morgan Rogers, a former Duke University lacrosse student athlete who died tragically in July 2019 after battling mental health struggles. Morgan's Message, an organization that is spread to high schools and universities across the nation, was created by her family and former teammates with the mission to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health, normalize conversations about mental health, and to ensure that mental health is treated equally to physical health for all student athletes. Although Morgan's life was cut too short, her legacy of unconditional love remains and has inspired athletes everywhere. For more information on Morgan's life and legacy and how you can help those with mental health struggles, please visit morgansmessage.org or reach out to the ambassadors here at Tufts. Always great when the Jumbos are playing for a cause. I mean, this has really been a team that's been cause-oriented. We talked about it a couple weeks ago about their work with Team Impact and their new signing and how they came out that day and just put it to Middlebury in that first quarter. We've seen a little bit of that in the first couple minutes here today, playing for a cause. And now you just got to wonder, Jumbo's just got to keep doing what they're doing, right, Nels?
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before, but I think as long as Bates stays in the zone, we've seen that the Jumbos are capable of picking it apart. So when it comes to shutting down Boyden and shutting down Brune, they're just not having the success that you would expect. So yeah, look for the Jumbos to keep doing a lot of the same.
Yeah, it'll be Salcedo out on this draw for the Jumbos, as now it'll be Nias' turn to deal with what's left of that sunset.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to luck out with a decent amount of cloud coverage here. It could peak out a little bit, like you said, later in the second quarter. So
I'll tell you what, there is cloud coverage, but if that thing breaks out, Nias is not going to be able to see anything below his shoulders.
Yeah, and Nias with 5 saves in this game so far, all things considered, having a pretty solid game.
Yeah, anytime your save percentage is above 50% against Jack Boyden and company, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. Salcedo, nice spin.
Yeah, great individual effort there from Salcedo, able to win it to himself between his legs, come up with a big ground ball and spin away from some pressure, and Bo's now on offense.
Oh, what a shot there. Nice finish there from Kurt Brune, and Jack Boyden's first point of the day as he sets Brune up perfectly.
Yeah, Boyden keeping that in his right hand, sweeping across the top, and then behind the back to Brune. Brune with the easy finish. Looks like the Jumbos are coming out hot in this second quarter.
And I got to apologize to Jack Boyden. I've apparently been doing a really bad job doing math. Somehow, without me noticing, he's got 4 assists. Yeah. And, I mean, that just shows how good of a player he is.
Yeah, and this Jumbos duo at the face-off X right now is gobbling up Bates, with Cone and Salcedo winning them back-to-back.
Brune. The long pole airs. Sets a screen for Boyden, who's just going to go hard, slam on the brakes. Ooh, tried a no-look shot, almost caught Nias at that near post. Brune on the X. Eddinghausen wants it, gets it. Hard dodge, double comes. Skip pass from Swank, Brune dodge, shot, scores.
Yeah, and you can see there from Brune, he hitches with that pump fake. Great pass from Boyden, but when Brune catches this, I think as a Bates defender, your first thought is, not again. He's not going to shoot over me again, so you have to commit to his stick. And when he hitches like that, it frees his shoulders up and just puts it near post.
Yeah, that is the problem, because if you make that hard slide like he did there, you make yourself vulnerable to that dodge inside. But if you don't slide hard, Kurt Brune's going to finish over you.
Yeah, and some new players now on the field with Brooks Burns on this near wing. And again, another easy face-off for this Jumbos team.
Brune around the cone screen, fake the pass. Now we'll give Jack Boyden the pass. Jack Boyden, who is now only 5 points away from 100 on the year. That one a little too much for Brune. Good play there by Panagopoulos to keep that in, but Boyden overran it, and the ground ball is scooped up by the Bobcats, who then immediately turn it over. Jumbos have numbers. Tagliaferri. Boyden behind the back, Swank scores! Are you kidding me? What a transition from the Jumbos attackmen.
And that's the type of highlight reel that if that was any other player in this NESCAC league, that would be a highlight tape, but for Jack Boyden, it's just another assist.
Jack Boyden has 6 points in 17 minutes and has not taken a shot today.
And this is what happens when you're in this zone, when Boyden is able to facilitate the offense from above the net rather than behind it. He's able to create those types of opportunities for the rest of this Jumbos offense, and he's not just a threat to score, he's a threat to dish the ball as well. And like you mentioned earlier, Riley, it looks like we're seeing some fresh legs on both ends here with Cole Friedlander, the freshman, now in at close D.
Oh my gosh, did you see what Kurt Brune just did?
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy twister there from Brune.
That spin dodge and then the two-hand overhead like a tomahawk to go over the head of Nias, who, for what a first quarter he had, has just gotten shelled in the first 2 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, and unlike the Bates offense, this Jumbo's offense is taking full advantage of this glare now that it has broken through the sun. And all these shots are coming from up top, from high to low, making it really difficult for a goalie to see.
Salcedo back out on the draw. Violation. Or no, they're not going to call a violation. Looked like they were going to. Panagopoulos got the loose ball anyway. Frizzoli. Brune. Pass inside. A lot of contact and just missing that one with Salcedo. Jumbo's going to go man up momentarily.
Yeah, and Salcedo actually drew 2 flags on that play. So he drew one initially, a little bit of extracurriculars near the X, and he drew one at the end there with the push. So Jumbos have a chance here, I think, to go 2 men up unless it's on the same player.
Christmas. Jumbo's going to start the man up a little early here. Regnery. Boyden. Back to Regnery. Shot low. What a save there by Nias, as I don't know how he saw that skip shot. And now the question is, how many men up are the Jumbos going to go?
Yeah, and it looks like immediately Bates sending 2 to the box, so I think they realize the situation they're in as well here.
So it was Mick Burden with the hold that you saw, I missed, and then Lowell Hairston with the extracurricular shove on the Salcedo shot. And now, Nias and company will get to deal with a 6-on-4 for the Jumbos.
Yeah, and this Jumbo's man up has not been super effective this year at 30%, but with 2 men up here, I expect this to be pretty precise for the Jumbo's offense.
Tagliaferri, Murtha on the X. Boyden, Swank, Tagliaferri. Jumbo's just playing a little bit of catch right now. Eddinghausen, inside Jack. Boyden just missed it.
Uh-oh.
Shot from Swank. What a save by Nias.
Yeah, good save there from Nias, but good takes there from the Jumbo's offense. That's the type of step down you want from Swank. They're able to draw all those defenders low and free up Swank up top.
Now Bates with numbers. Low, high, score. Nice finish there from Masterson, as he just kind of with that near post angle almost looked like he fooled. A little bit Cody Beersey there.
Yeah, easy in transition there. He also had the option on that far post, but able to put it in. And at 9-2 with about 12 minutes left in the second quarter, a little bit of life from this Bates offense.
Yeah, and they needed it. Cody Weeb probably going to want that one back, but Bates gets one back, and we've seen crazier things here on Bello, for sure. Cohen back out on the X, wins another draw. Bates able to knock it free, but Edelman's waiting right there to pick it up. Fakes the pass to Boyden. Settle handoff. Brune. Edelman now playing some attack. Jumbo's just having fun here. Boyden fakes the handoff to Ayers. Might just turn and run here. Dodge, double comes. Christmas behind the net. Garrett Kelly. Brune. Kelly able to scoop up the ground ball. Boyden calling for it. Brune. Now Boyden. Down low, Christmas. Boyden at the top, swings Kelly quickly. Face dodge, double comes, Boyden, Christmas. Good ball movement, but no real penetration. Kelly, around one shot. Save. Nias caught that so nonchalantly.
Not the best look for the Jumbos there. Kelly forced down the alley, and Nias had it the whole way there on that near post. Like you said, it really just sort of ended up in his stick. He didn't have to move a ton for that one.
Jumbos with a hard ride coming, trying to force a sideline step out and another timeout from the Bates bench.
And again, we're seeing these timeouts used as the Bates offense sort of sets up in their set. And last time, Riley, when they used this timeout, we didn't even see them take a shot. So interesting to see what they'll draw up here hopefully it's a different look or it's going to be another empty possession for this Bates offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're focused on today, but you got to think of this game not just in terms of today, but in terms of what it means in terms of the NESCAC season. And for the Jumbos, it's a chance to just keep on rolling, get their 8th NESCAC win of the year, and more importantly, put themselves one win, a win on Saturday, away from guaranteeing themselves home field advantage throughout the NESCAC tournament.
Yeah, and the flip side of that is that if you're this Bates team, you're still searching for your first conference win of the year. It's definitely been a frustrating season for this Bates team, but like you said earlier, crazier things have certainly happened in NESCAC matchups. So,
yeah, and not only are they searching for their first win, this is a must-win game for the Bobcats. They lose this game, they're not playing NESCAC tournament lacrosse. And for a team that just 4 years ago, just 3 seasons ago, was 6-2, 4th in the NESCAC, to go from there to being out of the NESCAC tournament contention with 2 games to play would really represent a tough transition. See if the Bobcats can come up with something a little more fruitful out of this timeout.
not sure if you've gotten the chance to take a look at it yet, Riley, but if you had to guess, how many shots do you think the Jumbos have taken so far this game?
Shots or shots on goal?
Let's say shots.
I'm going to guess they're somewhere in the high 20s, low 30s.
You would be completely right. They've taken 29 shots, and that's the type of volume that we were talking about earlier. It doesn't matter how good of a goalie you are. When a team is taking 29 shots, I mean, even if you're saving, like we talked about, that 50% number, you're still letting up 15 goals. So,
yeah, I mean, just looking at the numbers, you want to talk goalies. We'll talk goalies. Nias has 7 saves. That's almost a 45% save percentage. And yet, because of the number of shots the Jumbos have taken and the number of shots they've put on target, he's still conceded 9 goals. A little bit of trouble with the shot clock here. While that's going on, we can update you some news on the women's side from Lewiston. Same matchup going on the women's side, and it is all Jumbos, as Margie Curran with 5 goals has led the Jumbos to a 15-4 lead with 10 to go.
And great play there from Del Cristo, recognizing that it was going to be a slow pass, and he was able to blow up that opportunity right at the midline, forcing it over and back. Just a great heads-up play from the sophomore.
Yeah, that's really sophomore leadership. You think about what these guys have learned from an SCAC season, and that you have to take advantage of every single opportunity. When a pass like that happens, a lot of teams, they're not pressing on that. They're just going to let it go. Jumbos aren't going to give you the benefit of the doubt. They're going to make you pay for it. Timmons, Boyden, Eddinghausen now. Spin dodge. Shot saved by Nice. And as much as Eddinghausen has a really nice shot, from that distance, with that level of visibility, you're not going to beat him. Nice play there by Ayers to force the turnover. Eddinghausen in a hurry. Boyden wants it. Boyden gets it. Boyden just missed. I don't know about you, Niles. I think Jack Boyden wants to get to 100 tonight.
Yeah, he's certainly taking what is being given to him, in the sense that he's certainly not forcing anything, but this Bates offense is leaving him open up top a lot.
Oh, just missing was Tommy Swank, as that went crossbar and just hit the end line. Brune trying to get a shot, gets doubled. Skip pass, extra pass down low. GLE, Tagliaferri, skip pass to Boyden, who just misses high.
Yeah, with the amount of power Boyden put behind that, if that was on cage, that might have torn the net off.
Timmons. Boyden getting doubled here. Ball just fell out of his stick. He was trying to do a little too much there.
Yeah, and just unfortunate. Not something you see from Boyden a lot. Just a mishandle on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've ever seen that as another unforced error from the broadcast. This one on Alex Neville. Jumbos will restart quickly here. Panagopoulos to Christmas. Bates does not know where the ball is. Christmas with a head of steam. He just bullies that defender. Pass inside. Swank scores. Are you kidding me? I mean, you can't stop that.
Yeah, Christmas first with the bull dodge down the alley, just running over an unfortunate Hairston who happened to be standing in the way, and then Swank cutting through the crease, catches that in his right hand, and seems to get tied up with the defender, and then scoops it in with one hand. We've seen a similar play earlier this year from Boyden, and this Tufts attack is really just getting every look that they want right now, seeming to score from every part of this offensive
We
field.
say that, but yet only 2 Jumbos have scored today. Every single goal has either been from Tommy Swank or Kurt Byrne.
And interesting there from Cone, it was the same sort of drag exit that we saw earlier where he got called for withholding, but this time able to retain possession.
Yeah, Jumbo's getting some new faces in the attack. Sal Frizzoli here. Nice dodge, double comes. Frizzoli will reset on the X. Swank wants it, didn't get it. Boyden gets it instead. Handoff Regnery. Boyden. Pass down low. What a save on Frizzoli there by Nias. Bates in a hurry. And a great save there by Masterson as that one was headed for the bench. Edelman just absolutely hounding the Bates attackman right now.
Yeah, and we talked about it going into the end of the first quarter. The offense needs to start with Masterson today, and as he gets doubled, it's just too stagnant from Bates. They're keeping the ball up top. There's really no dodging or any sort of off-ball action.
Cooper Lance, nice feed, and a goal finished by Schinnebeck as the Jumbos got caught napping and didn't catch the cutting Schinnebeck.
Yeah, naturally, as I'm talking about how stagnant they are, Schinnebeck just attacks the crease. One goal last game against Hamilton, adds another one today. And that's the type of offense that they need to try to keep up in the second quarter to try to tally some more goals here. They need to be more aggressive. They need to punish Tufts for pressing out on the edges of these boxes.
Jumbo's a lot of changes coming quickly here. Brooks Burns back in. And on the other side, as Salcedo fighting for that draw, the other midfielder here for the Jumbos will be Christian Rosario.
About 6 minutes left in the second quarter now.
Jumbos do win the draw. They'll look to build from the back with Weeb. No ride at all from Bates. Miscommunication there. Rosario couldn't get it cleanly. Addinghausen backs it up. Swank looking for goal number 7 on the day. Tagliaferri, Boyden called for it, didn't get it. Swank, Regnery, Boyden. Jumbo's just playing hot potato right now. Kurt Brune gets doubled. Tagliaferri on the X. Boyden. Regnery's skip pass was blocked there, but the ground ball scooped up by Jack Boyden. Oh my gosh, that just missed.
Yeah, that pass was deflected by Colton Curtis, who has 11 caused turnovers this season. Really great defender inside, able to get a stick in the lane. Just a good heads-up play, able to read that offense from the Jumbos.
Swank will reset with Regnery now. Brune gets inside position. Tagliaferri on the X. Deflected pass, still finds Swank. Fake the shot, Regnery, down low, Brune. Face dodge, low shot, save by Nias.
And Nias has been just so good in this second quarter.
Nias is the only reason the Jumbos don't have 20 goals right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was his 10th save of the game now.
Tyler Chang trying to run here against Ayers. Ayers forces him back.
And again, this sort of passive offense where you just have one player running with it, I understand that the Jumbos are trying to lock off adjacent passes, but you just got to get open if you're these Bates attackmen. You have to help your players out. Otherwise, it just turns into turnovers. Unclear what was called there, but it will stay Jumbo's ball.
I think there was a problem with the shot clock. Boyden still looking for his first goal today. This might be the latest this year I've said that. Brune thought about the shot, spun when I don't think he really needed to. Boyden, Panagopoulos from distance, save. If he had scored, this place would have gone insane. Clear was successful before it was blown up by Friedlander. And the Jumbos are going to go again.
Friedlander with a heads-up play there, realizing that that sort of loop pass was going to land pretty softly.
Christmas, lefty shot. What a snipe. Jack Boyden sees Christmas with a head of steam. He knows where the ball's going. And there's only ever going to be one result, and that's the back of the net.
Yeah, and the problem is, if you're any defense, if you're coming up against Kevin Christmas, 6'6", 230, coming head of steam out of the box, just a tough matchup for any defensive midi, and really just too easy for the Jumbos offense. You need to slide early with a pull, but instead pressure never comes, and like you said, step down shot, only one thing's ever going to happen.
Boyden now 3 points away from the century mark. Clean win here from Salcedo. Lost it on the second touch, bouncing around, and the loose ball is controlled by the Bobcats. Jumbos won it back, and they did, but a foul in the process on Cam Del Cristo.
Unfortunate there from Salcedo. Clean win forward, but just on that second effort, pops it up into the air instead of settling in his stick. Frustrating, especially since he had won the initial clamp, but good effort so far from this Jumbos face-off crew. Not just the face-off guys, but the wings as well.
Another win, another forced turnover from the Jumbos, and now they're going again.
Yeah, and that was Stockdale who entered the game for the first time. Great play there from the defensive midi.
You know he wants that goal. A little too casual with that pass, is picked off. Neville will try and clear now for the Bobcats.
And again, Nias, despite the scoreline, has been pretty lights out in this quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he is not their usual starter, as that one is their usual starter being Fitzsimons. But as a first year, the way he's played tonight, you got to wonder for Coach Anino, is it time for a more permanent change in net?
Yeah, it looks like they found some good goalkeeping here today. It's hard to know why Fitzsimons did not get the start today. But, yeah, making the most of the opportunities that you're given is really just a great thing to see from a freshman.
Hartman. Now coming to grab that one there is Klingbeil. Jumbo's bench really loud still. Dodge attempt unsuccessful there from Lance. Jumbo's bench being told by the coaching staff no rollbacks, as you can tell that was a point of emphasis in film. They get one there and almost get a goal there, did Cooper Lance, but he couldn't quite get it on target.
And great effort there from Weeb, realizing that shot was not going to be on net, rolling out of cage and getting to that end line, able to create the turnover. And with a minute 20 left in this second quarter, the Jumbos will look to go fast.
Yeah, Ben Frizzoli, head of steam. You have to imagine with the scoreline the way it is, as Swank just goes top bins again. I mean, I'm running out of descriptors for the way he's shooting the ball right now.
Yeah, Swank with that righty laser just painting every part of the net right now. And again, it's just too easy for this Jumbos team. I think if you're Bates, the good thing about the zone is that you don't allow Jack Boyden to dodge into the center with some ease, but what it does open you up to is Kurt Brune and Tommy Swank on these wings, both excellent shooters and both able to put it on the cage from low angles. Swank now with 7 goals on the day.
And another face-off win, this time by Mason Cone, and the Jumbos want to go now. Cone with O'Neal to his left. Instead, Boyden gets it. Pass, Brune. Dodges 2, Pass was picked off as it was headed to an open Tommy Swank.
And 50 seconds left here. Shot clock will be off. And if you're Bates, a goal would be great here going into halftime. Build up some momentum.
That's not going to happen when Jack Boyden does that on the ride. 1v1 now. Boyden, dodge, around one, slams on the brakes, gets clotheslined, and a flag comes flying out.
And Hairston has been on the receiving end of two pretty brutal plays here. One from Boyden and one from Christmas. Just a tough day in the office.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to look back on this game too fondly. Sam Frazzoli with a nice dodge. Shot low by Swank, who almost rolled that one in. And the Jumbos will go man up again. We'll see if this one is a minute. It'll be 30.
Yeah, just a hold. Nothing super serious. Just got a little caught up around Boyden's helmet. And with 13 seconds left, the Jumbos will have a short time penalty. And again, like we've talked about, Riley, look to see what changes this Jumbos team makes coming out of halftime.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine that this is the last 13 seconds for a lot of the people on this man-up unit. Coach Anino is screaming at the referees. Jumbo's now going to get set. 10 to go in the quarter. Swank. Murtha, skip pass. Brune scores. I mean, it's just like, do you want to go left or do you want to go right? Because you go left, Tommy Swank will finish in the top corner. You go right, Kurt Brune will finish over your head.
Yeah, and the Jumbos have found something pretty special here with this combination of Swank and Brune. The ability to score from either wing makes it really hard for defenders to commit one way or another, especially on man-up where all it takes is one pass and one defender to commit. All of a sudden, you're left with Swank or Brune open on the wings. And just great heads-up play there from the Jumbos offense, recognizing the short time, able to score with 5 seconds left.
Cone wins that one, but that gets tied up too much. That'll be halftime here at Bello. And no word other than dominance can describe that first half. Niles, I mean, if you're the Bobcats, what's the message going into halftime? What can you work on that'll allow you to at least remain somewhat competitive?
I think the big thing is that the offense is just too stagnant, too slow. Only 9 shots in that first half. That's not something that you want to see from a super productive offense. I mean, this team is averaging 33 shots per game. Obviously, nowhere even close to that today. So I think if you're this Bates team, these halftime adjustments need to start with the simple things, right? Settle the ball on offense, create opportunities, and just start taking some shots. You really haven't tested Weeb a bunch other than a couple shots in that second quarter. Most of the looks have just been empty possessions, right? We've seen them call timeouts twice on offense. Both have ended up in no goals. So I think those are the types of adjustments you want to see from Bates. On defense, I don't expect a ton of changes. I mean, News has been absolutely lights out in that second quarter. Really had a great game so far despite the scoreline. So, yeah, those are the types of changes. And for the Jumbos, I mean, I expect to see a ton of new faces, lots of underclassmen here in the second half. Obviously, this game's not over, 13-3, but this Jumbos team does like to allow their underclassmen to, see some game time in NESCAC matchups. So those are the types of things that we'll see.
Speaking of NESCAC matchups, before we go to break, we got a couple finals to give you. First, on the women's side, the Jumbos take care of business 16-6 over Bates. Number 4 Tufts keeps on rolling into a crucial doubleheader weekend. And then we talked about the 3-part equation for the Jumbos to clinch a first-round home game in the NESCAC tournament. Hamilton took care of their piece. The Jumbos look to be taking care of their piece. It is 7-6 Amherst over Conn College at halftime. We will leave you with that. We'll be back in about 7 minutes with the second half.
show you something. Let me show you something.
Welcome back to Bello Field here on the campus of Tufts University. Score at the start of the third quarter, 13-3 Jumbos. And there's really only been two names that have been the story of this game, and those are Kurt Bruns and Tommy Swanks. But before we get to that, Jumbos did make a goalie change. Niles.
Yeah, looks like this is freshman, looks like this is Eugene Yoon who's stepping in now. Like I said, this Jumbos team in a game like this where they sort of expect to be pretty dominant on one end of the field, they can make those types of changes on the defensive end, get some new guys, some new looks, especially with Garzone being so solid throughout the year.
Absolutely. Expect to see Garzone at the weekends, but right now, Jumbo's offense is doing way too well to need him.
Yeah, and apologies.
Skip pass just through the legs of Tagliaferri.
Yeah, and apologies. This is senior Eugene Yoon. Has played in 5 games this season, but has not started getting some playing time here today.
While we were at halftime, they did take an assist away from Jack Boynton, so he is still 4 away from the century mark in terms of points on the season.
Yeah, and we talked about seeing some newer players for this Tufts team, but for now it is the same attack lineup of Swank, Boyden, and Brune.
Good hustle there from Ben Frizzoli to draw the ground ball, but he wasn't able to corral it as Cooper Lance got it back.
It'll be interesting to see what sort of offensive changes Bates made at halftime going into this third quarter.
Hartman on the X. Bates trying to get around anything the Jumbos are throwing them defensively. Nothing seems to be working. This Jumbos, what looks to be a zone, is doing way too well. Good face dodge there from Jake Johnson. Their second leading scorer, shot, save. And that great outlet for Frizzoli. Boyden comes back to collect. Jumbos 3-on-3. Boyden faked the pass, shot, save. A nice save there. In the net by Drew Nias, who has been just phenomenal today.
Yeah, and just unlucky there. Another missed opportunities from this Jumbos team not backing up that shot. Those are the types of possessions that are so frustrating because you're just creating turnovers for yourself. It's the same as just throwing a ball away when you don't back up something on the end line, and it turns into an easy clear for this Jumbos team.
Yeah, Nias, very risky with those clear attempts. Hit Harrison there, but if that's an inch lower, that's pretty much a walk-in goal for Tommy Swank. And definitely something that the Bates coaching staff's going to want to look at. I mean, he is a first year, and we've seen tremendous talent, and I know that Jack Boyden, someone who does not fear much, will not think too fondly about Drew Nias in the next couple of weeks. But in terms of the future of this Bates team, you want to start thinking about him as your goalie of the future, and in doing so, you got to think about things like clearing, like his communication with his fellow defenders. As the Jumbo's going to try and clear this with their senior goalie, Eugene Yoon. Skip pass and a great play there by Wilbaum to keep that from driving out of play. He's got to get over the line, and he just does as Swank comes back to bail him out.
Yeah, and Swank will have Tagliaferri from the box here, decides not to use him as an option.
Shot from Del Cristo, save Nias.
Yeah, Del Cristo looked like he wanted to get a little bit more on that shot, and he just wasn't able to sort of get his top hand down.
Oh, great play there by Jack Boyden with the interception. Tagliaferri just lost the handle. It comes to Swank, who gets tangled up, all sorts of contact. And what's the call?
Yeah, so it looks like what they called Swank there, looks like what they called Swank for is a loose ball push, but interesting there that the referee right near the ball did not make the call. Instead, it was the referee on the far side of the field.
Shot from distance, a snipe there from Malcolm Klingbeil. And the Bates bench very, very animated after that one.
Yeah, and Klingbeil, who's leading this team with 59 shots on the season, that's the type of offense that you need to see. Those are the types of shots you need to take to get your offense back into this. 13-4 is not an insurmountable lead if you start putting balls in the back of the net, and that starts with just taking shots. This Bates team has not taken a lot of shots today, now having taken 10 on the day.
Salcedo on the draw again. Does not win that one. Bates in a hurry. Skip pass. Oh, just losing the handle there was Hartman, as he would have had a clean look. There's a little bit more intensity to this Bates attack than we saw in the first half.
Yeah, Bates has come out hot in this.
Oh, what a play by Yoon there.
Yeah, Yoon able to keep Masterson from turning the corner. Great play there.
Masterson tries to turn the corner. Salcedo having none of it. Skip pass. Shot low high. And what a save there on that bouncer from Yoon. And then O'Neal gets rocked. And Bates going to go a man down.
Good play there from Ayers, able to back it up. So now the Jumbos get what is essentially a free possession as they have the flag on the back end of it. So they'll look to push here, obviously.
Pass inside. O'Neal scores.
And O'Neal knocked down on one end, stays on the field, on his feet, makes himself a threat on the other end. And that's the sort of resiliency and toughness that you love to see from any player. And the Jumbos able to survive the aggression from this Bates offense and turn it around and turn it into a goal on the other end.
The 6th goal in the season for the freshman Ethan O'Neill. Off a nice feed there from Kurt Brune. And we were talking about it. We were talking how Bates seemed to come out with a little bit more momentum, a little bit more belief. And that, where you have such a big hit, know you're about to go man down, and then they score anyway, is a momentum killer.
And another thing that's a momentum killer is when Mason Cone keeps coming up with those face-off wins, because the Jumbos just get possession after possession. And you can only survive so long against the onslaught of Swank and Brune.
Cone. Now it's Boyden. The Jumbos have 14 goals right now, and Jack Boyden does not have one of them. That is a sentence I never thought I would utter.
Yeah, and it seems like he's just content playing this facilitator role against the zone. Boyden doesn't seem to be hunting a goal as much as you might expect. Instead, he's just more than happy dishing the ball to Brune and Swank as he is now playing up top against this zone rather
what
than
a
behind.
pass. Shot from Regnery. Save by Nias.
Yeah, and with Ranieri there on that far wing with the stick in his right hand, just tough shot. Doesn't really have an angle, especially when the goalie's on that near pipe. Just doesn't have a lot of net to hit there.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe a bounce shot would have been more effective there. Picked up by the long pole of Frizzoli, and a sliding save there by Nias.
Yeah, and it's not over for Nias yet as that ball is behind the net, and he does come up with it. Great hustle play there.
I don't know, is it possible to be the player of the game in a game that your team is losing by 10? Because Drew Nias is making a case. Swank, down low. Boyden just didn't want to shoot it. Pass inside, and another ridiculous save by Nias in midair.
Nias now with 16 saves, and again, the scoreline does not reflect the effort that he's put on today.
Low shot bouncing in. A nice skip shot there by Cooper Lance. And the Bobcats aren't ready to run away and hide just yet.
Yeah, Lance, good take there. Keeps that stick in his right hand, sweeps from left to right. And that sidearm bouncer is tough for any goalie to read. You just don't really know where that ball's coming out. And Eugene Yoon was there for the low shot, but not able to get back up in time as it bounces up over his shoulder. And yeah, scores now 14-5 with about 8 minutes left in this third quarter. And interesting, if you're watching what the Bates Wings are doing here, they're starting off right around that midline, and right as Mason Cone goes down to take that faceoff, they are both jumping backwards, ready to attack any sort of offensive exit that Cone might try to take.
Boyden, dodge. Brune skip past Tagliaferri, still looking for his first point of the day. Brune gets it back, great face dodge there. Back to Boyden. What a rip, and there's Jack Boyden's goal.
Yeah, they finally leave Boyden alone up top. They've been doing a great job of making sure that any sort of pass or drive, they have a defensive player there, but that time just too much time, too much space for Boyden. He's turned down a lot of shots today, but he will certainly not turn down that one. And like you said, first goal of the game, but hasn't been a quiet offensive performance today. Has been just an amazing facilitator up top against this Bates zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's his 7th point on the day. 3 short of that century mark for the season. And a great play there by Miller to pick that ball up. Ayers hacked it out. Miller able to rebound, get it back again, and get through 2 jumbos, but not a third as Kurt Brune tracked all the way back. Jumbos were offsides, though. But that's really the hustle play that we've come to know and characterize Coach Casey Dinolfo's Jumbos team by. Kurt Brune, star attackman, 5 goals in the game, coming back to deliver a crushing hit to win the ball back. That pass is sailed. Jumbos want offsides.
Well, what they want there is that pole seemed to have full possession of the ball, which would make it over and back, but the referee's arguing that he batted the ball over, sort of a bang-bang play, really. It's hard for a referee to make that decision without being, right next to that play.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that whichever coach it went against was going to argue it, but there's no way you're ever going to win that argument because it's a 100% subjective call.
Yeah, absolutely. And good take there from the Bates offense. You don't. It's okay to miss shots like that because you're backing it up, because you're able to set up your offense from behind the goal, and you get the ball in Masterson's stick, and that's where that offense needs to start.
Good hard drive there, just missing over the top from Jake Johnson. I'll tell you what, Niles. This does not look to me, this Bates team, like a 1-9 team. They have a lot more heart and a lot more of the fundamental lacrosse IQ than their record suggests.
Yeah, they've come out aggressive in the second half, and the changes that they made at halftime have been positive ones. Again, these are good takes. Once they start putting these on the net, these are positive opportunities for Bates. It's easy to get frustrated when you're not scoring, but
Bates just going to chuck that away. Yoon going to quickly try and get to it, and a really, really poor mistake by Eugene Yoon. Tried to catch that ball and spark a transition, hit off the tip of his stick. Now there's going to be debate as to whether or not there should be a reset.
Yeah, so the argument here from Coach D'Onofrio will be that Yoon never had full possession of it, and since the shot clock expired, it should be Tufts' ball. But again, like you said, it's a bit of a subjective call, and once they've made it one way, it'll be tough to change their minds.
They're going to have a discussion, though, and you really hope they change their minds for Eugene Yoon's sake, because that's a really just unlucky play. He had the right idea, because if he gets to that ball, Bates was caught out. They had two men way on the Jumbo's end, almost on the GLE, and the Jumbos had numbers in transition. But by taking that risk, it just clipped off his stick, and it's a turnover. Shot clock will be reset to 1 second. So Bates, in all likelihood, is just going to do a Gilman here, dump it in the corner, and let the Jumbos take it.
Yeah, and good job from the referees there sorting that out. Seems to be the right call, and yeah, Bates will likely just dump it in the corner, and Tufts will set up their clear.
And they will. Shot clock fully goes off this time, and Joey Walbaum will start the clear.
And while that possession ended up very similar to many of their others today with no goals, it certainly felt very different from some of their empty possessions. Lots of shots, although none of them on net, but still good opportunities here for the Bobcats.
Jumbos might have gotten away with an offside there. Eugene Yoon should have a shot, does have a shot just wide. Oh my gosh, that would have been something.
And can you imagine what this place would have been like if Yoon was able to pin that one?
I don't think we would have been able to pick it up. I think it would have broke our mics. Swank to a wide open for Zoli. Boyden. The zone's kind of breaking down right now.
Yeah, they've been forced to rotate, and once you're in a zone...
For Zoli, snipe, saved by Nias.
Yeah, as I was saying, once you're forced to rotate in a zone, it's similar to man down where it allows players to be open on the backside. Good take there from Frisoli, but...
Real strong play there by Ben Miller.
And Boyden...
Back down the Jumbos defender.
Coming off limping a little bit there, and interesting to note, it is now Shane Malloy in at the net for the Jumbos. Has played in 3 games this year.
And Coach D'Onofrio's seen enough. He is calling off the dogs. Tommy Swank going to come to the bench. 7 will be his magic number for the night.
Yeah, and entering now will be sophomore Callum Wood, joined by freshman Garrett Kelly and sophomore Max Eddinghausen, and they'll have their first chance at some 4-on-3 offense here.
A shot from distance and put in the back of the net there by Josiah DeGrosse. The freshman midfielder gets his first goal of the day. His first career goal, I may add.
And it was just the simple fact that no Bates defender ever picked him up. They're too worried about the ability of this Tufts offense. They just never stepped up to him, never adjusted accordingly.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the question has to be asked. And I don't know if it's just a matter of organization, a matter of we're getting there, but you saw Swank go off. You saw Jack Boynton come off. Kurt Brune now does come off, replaced by Ettinghausen. I was about to wonder why he was still on the field.
Yeah, and a great chance to take a look at these underclassmen for the Tufts team against what has been a pretty tough.
Great dodge by Kelly. Low shot saved by Nias. As that will be save number 19 on the day for Drew Nias. Jumbo's ride not giving much options for Bates. A double comes, and a great save there. Preventing the over and back there was Schinnebeck.
Yeah, with about 3:40 left in the third quarter, this Bates offense, if they want a chance at winning this one, they need to click in now against some new faces for this Tufts team, some underclassmen. This is where they need to find success as they still have their starting attackman on.
Cooper Lance. I mean, yeah, the Jumbos have done some changes, but they haven't, like, completely changed everything. I mean, Kyle Edelman, Joe Murtha, they're still there, and when you're trying to run against them, it's just not easy, ever.
Yeah, it looks like we saw a full switch at attack, but still much of the first team on defense here as Murtha's in transition.
Murtha with Timmons aside, and Murtha going to shoot. No, he's not. Instead plays Ettinghausen, who lost the handle. Ground ball scooped up by Michael Ayers.
And Ayers is not afraid to stay on offense here, but this time will find the midline as Tufts makes some subs.
Ettinghausen on the X. Wood, Kelly. Christmas just parking himself in the center of that zone. South Rizzoli behind the net. Ettinghausen on the X. Has Timmons and Christmas inside. Two big, tall guys to aim at. Ettinghausen looking for something. Will go out for Zoli. Good dodge. Shot just wide.
Yeah, good split dodge there from Sam Frisoli, freeing up that right hand. Just unable to find the net. Bounces it left. But good take there from the Jumbos' second team here as they continue to attack against this Bates zone.
Dodge there from Wood. Christmas bounced that one, but it somehow got to Garrett Kelly. Jumbos have 15 to shoot. Frizzoli. That one tried to pass it to Ettinghausen, hit the back of the net, and comfortably grabbed by Nias.
And with a minute 40 here, Bates sets up their clear.
We'll see what this underclassmen JumboCast ride can bring. But a great clear there and a great save by Tyler Chang as that one looked to have been headed out of play.
Yeah, and while the Jumbos offense was, attacking, it looks like the Jumbos D made some subs as well. We see now Friedlander in at close D, joined by Panagopoulos.
Yeah, Bates still sticking with their starters. We'll see if that lasts or if that's just till the quarter break.
Looks like
as that's going to be a turnover. Jumbo's going to go quickly here. Ettinghausen does not want to wait. Frizzoli. Face dodge, Ettinghausen. Low shot from Wood, skipped wide. Ettinghausen going to go pick it up. 35 to go in the quarter. Callum Wood. Now Kelly. Thought about the shot. Instead to the other side for Soli. Coming to grab that one is Brooks Hauser. And gets deked out of his shoes by Ben Miller. Hauser back defensively. Bates looking for the last shot here. 10 seconds to go in the third. Good dodge there from Horowitz. Bates with three. They got to get a shot. Shot is well wide, and at the end of three in Medford, the Jumbos lead 16-5. Well, that quarter, not as dominant as the first two, but still a very, very solid attacking performance from the Jumbos.
Yeah, with some fresh legs on now, it'll be a great chance, like we mentioned, to get a look at some of the guys that maybe haven't played as much this season against a Bates defense that in this zone is not as easy to beat, especially with Nias in the net, now having 19 saves on the day.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that 19 saves 99 times out of 100, when you see that on a stat line at the end of 3 quarters, you got to think your team's up. But it's just a testament to the number of shots that this Jumbos team has taken. I mean, just looking at it, you want to guess what the number is, Niles?
16 goals, 30, upper 30s maybe?
Try 57.
Yeah, that'll happen. And this Jumbos team averaging close to 65 shots a game, so seems to be right on track.
Yeah, speaking of on track, stay on track with Tufts Athletics on JumboCast Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll be out at Saul Goodman Field for the first of the 3-game series against Bowdoin this weekend. The doubleheader, both games, Saturday on JumboCast, including the Senior Day presentation after the second game of that doubleheader. And, of course, right back here on Bello, Saturday at noon, the women take on Wesleyan in a showdown. You can find it all on JumboCast. Niles, if you're Coach Dinolfo, what are you looking to see? Obviously, you don't have your starters in, but what are you looking for from this group of underclassmen you've put in for this fourth quarter?
I think you're hoping that they execute on the things that they worked on in practice, on the things that the first team has had so much success with. And that includes things like moving the ball against the zone, dragging across the top of the zone, as Boyden was doing earlier. And on defense, really shutting down the threats, not allowing any shots, forcing them to play in that alley. I think those are the types of things that will create success for this Tufts team.
A draw win there for Eric Helgeson.
Yeah, good look at the freshman there. Great clamp and exit to himself. Looks like that was a brand new face-off unit. And it looks like there's some new defenders in as well for this Tufts team. Kai Solomon joined by Braun Lippy.
Kelly looked to have a shot. Instead, he'll slam on the brace. And I think Eddinghausen going to get called for the push. He is. Jumbo's not putting on a tough ride here, but Bates still having trouble with that clear, but they're able to get it in a great spin move there by Cooper Lance. Hartman tries to spin 4v4 against Solomon. Jumbo's having none of it. Bates still really sticking with their starting unit here.
Yeah, and I think if you're, I think if you're head coach Dan and Nino, you want your first team to continue to get reps. They haven't had a ton of offensive success today, and there's no reason to take them out in a game like this because you want them to find that groove. You want them to find at least some sort of.
Degrassi running. Eddinghausen thought about the shot and said Kelly dodges, looks to have a shot, can't get his hands free. Now we'll shoot, and then a great save by Nias.
And Nias has continued to be excellent. Now his 20th save of today's game.
But once again, that's where we've seen him struggle. The really only area we've seen him struggle is with that clear, as he gives it away and the Jumbos look to go. Pass inside, and another save by Nias on the shot there from Brian Winters. Another shot from Kelly, another Nias save. That's 22 as the Bates goalkeeper is putting on a clinic.
And it's just so frustrating for a goalie to have a performance like this, and you look up at the scoreline and it just doesn't feel like the way you've been playing reflects the score that you see. But that's what happens when you play against a team who shoots with the type of frequency that this Tufts offense does.
Absolutely. And I mean, you might wonder, as I did, why this base team is sticking with their starters. And then you go through their roster, and it kind of makes sense. Of their starting attackmen, none of them, as they finish there, nice finish there from Connor Hartman, a first year, they don't have any seniors in their starting attackmen. This is all a group that's going to be back next year. And so they want to get this group chemistry. They want to get this group more experience. Because this is a program that's built not for this year, but for next year and the year after and the year after that.
Yeah, and Hartman with 12 goals and an assist on the season, again, adds to his point total. Good take there, a little fadeaway sort of jump shot, putting it low and away against Malloy. And again, you get a look at this fresh-faced face-off unit for the Jumbos.
Helgeson, I think, getting a call for the hold. Yeah, he is. Oh, they're calling it the other way.
Interesting.
I saw it the other way. I don't know about you.
Yeah, interesting there. It looked like the referee had it right initially, pointing down towards the Tufts end for the hold, but then ends up staying with the Jumbos as they look to sub here and play a little bit of transition offense.
I'll tell you what, the way Eddinghausen plays in the attacking half almost makes me do a double take because he looks like a lefty version of Charlie Tagliaferri.
Yeah, agreed.
As here he is on the ball. Dodge tries to get a room for a shot. Double comes, skip pass. Low shot off the crossbar there from Callum Wood.
Yeah, and you asked earlier what sort of success we would hope that this Tufts team shows, and I think that's exactly it. Dodge against the zone, draw the double, and 2 passes quickly finds the backside of the zone, and all of a sudden you have a shot.
Oh, what a shot there from Eddinghausen on the spin, but he couldn't quite redirect it. Timmins. Kelly back to Timmins. Shot, and Nias, of course, saves it. I mean, I don't know who it says more about as quickly coming here are the Bobcats. And a real good job by the Jumbos to get back defensively. I don't know who it says more about. Does it say more about Kurt Brune and Tommy Swank, that they were able to put 12 goals past them? Or does it say more about Nias, that no one else has been able to get anything easy today?
Yeah, he's just had a lot of success with the goals that sort of come right in front of him, in front of that like arc directly in front of the goal. It seems like he struggled a little bit with Brune and Swank shooting from the wings. But again, just has had a great game today.
Bates got the Jumbos caught out a little bit. But a loose pass and an unforced turnover will be picked up by the Jumbos, as Malloy will start the clear for the Jumbos.
Pretty simple clear there for the Jumbos. It looks like Bates decided to sink into their zone instead of ride hard through the midline.
Pass down low, Eddinghausen thought about it. On the X, Wood just trying to back down the defender, scores. That's just pure strength.
Yeah, and the slide just never came from the crease. The tricky part about a zone is that as that center defender in the zone, you have to cover both the offensive player up top as well as sink down and be the slide in case it comes. And in that case, the slide was just too late. Like you said, Wood just able to back down his defender and turn the corner.
Yeah, well, that is the thing about when your zone gets broken, is that there's not always a man to slide. There wasn't really anyone there for the Bobcats, as the Jumbos switch up with another face-off man. This time, Setsakos, who was able to win that one forward and look to go.
Yeah, good recognition there from Tatekos, realizing that the pressure was coming from behind, able to sort of hit the brakes there and move it to an open player with two defenders on him.
Brooks Hauser now leading this unit for the Jumbos.
9:40 left in this one as the Jumbos go to work here on offense.
Joey Kraft, nice dodge shot, save by Nias.
And too easy there from Nias. Those are the types of shots that you wish you had back because the goalie just doesn't have to do a lot of work there. He's already on the near post as you're dodging towards the alley, and it just sort of hits him in his stick. He doesn't have to do a lot to beat the shot there.
Bates setting up here in the Jumbos attack end. And for what feels like the umpteenth time in a row, we are again on record watch here at Bello. This time for the other side, as Nias, with 24 saves so far, is only 9 away from the Bates program record.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much volume he gets in this fourth quarter, as the Jumbos will likely slow down a little bit. But, I mean, definitely an exciting performance for a freshman goalkeeper to come up with the types of saves that he's come up with today.
I mean, you say the Jumbos will slow down the volume, but these guys are getting on the field for the first time today, some of them for the first time in a long time. So they want to shoot the ball. And a great play there by Bates, preventing the over and back twice, but a turnover picked up by Kai Solomon.
Yeah, and Kai Solomon.
And then just a great spin move to drop Connor Hartman.
Yeah, and he spins away, but with that deep pull, you have to be careful about pressure from behind you, because if you leak a little bit too much of that butt end, like you just saw, the attackman's able to land a check, but luckily it stays with Tufts here.
Jumbo's bench upset about switching into a zone.
Yeah, and that's Coach Toomey. They're wondering why they switched into that zone when they've been having success in man. And you want your second unit to play similarly to your first unit.
Open shot, a dodge, and a block there. A great block by Colton Curtis.
Yeah, an interesting take there from Sam Miller. Looked like he had that initial shot, seemed to think better of it, decided to hitch and just wasn't able to take a good shot. A little bit off balance there, unable to find the net.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to wonder how much of that is just confidence, having not played a ton this year. When you get the chance, are you going to be trigger happy, or are you going to be a little more patient, wait for the perfect moment?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, for a lot of these guys, it's, they don't get a ton of opportunities like this. And especially heading into the postseason, you want to be able to perform your best, and you want to be able to succeed in the position that you're put in. So, yeah, like you said, it's tough to know whether you should be taking those shots or if you should be holding it, or maybe you missed something. So, yeah, easy to second guess yourself, and it looks like that's what he did there.
Good pass down low, and what a finish, diving in there from Colton Curtis, excuse me. A great feed backdoor from Horowitz. And the Bobcats with a very, very flashy goal.
Yeah, I mean, great crease awareness there. Good job with his feet, keeping it, keeping himself from falling in and able to put it away. And great find, able to find the attackman who had sank down low. Tough for Malloy there to wrap all the way around. Great win at the face-off X for Tatekos.
Yeah, that's the second clean win he's had, and another save there.
And Tatekos was going to shoot that the whole way, I think.
Well, I remember it was the Wesleyan game last year where Parker Merrill did that in a big moment. And if you have a face-off guy who can do that, as the Jumbos need to stop here.
An exciting moment for Sam Miller on one end of the field, but you have to be concerned as there is a Bates Bobcat down in the middle of the field. Just hope he's all right. He went straight to reach for that knee.
Yeah, and as the training staff tends to him, we're going to take a short break. We will be right back. really bittersweet moment for everyone here on Bello, as on one end, a really nice goal from Sam Miller, but on the other end, a tragic sight. Jackson Williams down with what appeared to be a knee injury, and we here just want to wish him the absolute best and hope that he gets better soon.
Yeah, just unfortunately got tangled up at the bottom of that play. But the Jumbos here look to add to their lead, and another face-off win for the squad. Looks like that was Eric Helgeson with the win.
I mean, I guess the question begs, is there anyone on this Jumbos roster who can't win a face-off?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it doesn't seem to matter who the Jumbos put out at the face-off X tonight. Seems like that ball will end up in the offensive end for the Jumbos. And again, a lot of new faces for this Jumbos offense. Exciting moment for a lot of these players.
Kenny gets it back. Good dodge there from Declan Murphy. Skip pass to the top, down low, little shovel shot, just missed. Ambitious idea there from Jonathan Gare. Pass down low. Bates caught all over the place. Kayer shot, sniped just wide.
Yeah, unlucky there. Looks like the Bates defender dropped a stick, or it was a broken stick,
I think that shot broke that stick.
Yeah, so can't play without your stick, so you just have to sub, and Jumbos tried to take advantage of this 6-on-5, but unable to capitalize with the shot on net. And because it did not hit anything, it will remain at 20 seconds on the shot clock here with about 5 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter.
I mean, I don't want to give too much praise, but just as that shot just sails just over the bar there from Boko, I'll wait till they have this shot and then I'll make my point. Pass inside, bounces around. Bates will try and clear.
Yeah,
the amount of offense we're seeing from what has to be a third or fourth unit just goes to how impressive a job Coach Stacy D'Onofrio and his staff have done recruiting in the past couple of years.
Yeah, and I mean, like you mentioned, great example there from Bo Keogh. Not only does he get off a great initial shot, but then you see the off-ball movement. You see him in the right places with the right ideas. And that's what you love to see as this Jumbos coaching staff.
What a save there. As a big-time play by Ben Friedman, denying Hartman, who thought he was going to catch the Jumbos goalkeeper napping.
Yeah, and looks like...
Oh, great dodge by Kenny. Shot low, and another ridiculous save by Nias.
And again, this Jumbos ride, which has been relentless all day, and that relentlessness is infectious from the first team down to the third and fourth, as another successful ride will lead to Jumbo possession.
Yeah, it takes a lot as a third or fourth team attackman to come in and just keep the energy level, especially in a blowout, steady. But to bring it up a level is insanely impressive. Great dodge there. Shot off the post from Liam Nestor.
And yeah, I guess I was wrong about slowing down this Jumbo's offense. No lack of shots as they continue to press against this Bates team.
Nestor now on the X. Can't quite see the number. I think that's Kenny. Drop the defender, pass, gets it back, shot, score! A nice shot there from Joey Kraft. Or excuse me.
Max Melton, it looked like.
It was Max Melton.
Yeah, had his defender a little bit off balance there and then shoots right off his shoulder. Just really tough for a goalie to see, never really sees the head of the stick. And when that ball is coming right off the shoulder of the defender, it sort of comes out of nowhere. But not to take away from Melton, who puts a great shot into that top quadrant right off the goalie's helmet. Great take there for the Jumbos.
Bates a little bit of a trouble here. They don't seem to have any. now they finally do have a face-off man in McBurden. Seem to have a set play on here off the draw.
Yeah, they've been doing this all day where they'll start off their wing players at the midline and then they sink them right before the whistle. You're allowed to move on the wings, so they're trying to catch these Tufts face-off guys sort of off guard, but again, this Tufts face-off team at this point with multiple people taking it have been putting on an absolute clinic.
I mean, those plays with moving the wings, that's great and all, but if you can't win the clamp, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think the idea is that even if the Tufts face-off guy is able to come up with it, you're hoping that your wing coming from a new position is able to catch the guy off balance, as it will be a slash on the back end here.
Yeah, Jumbo's going to go man up. As base was running, they thought they had forced an over and back. Didn't quite see the marker in the corner.
And it'll be great to see this Jumbo's man-up team with some new faces, hoping to find some success and hoping to find one in the back of the net. With about 2:30 left in this one.
Jumbo's man-up unit going to get some work here. Nestor. Faking the pass was Brookshauser. Gets it back now. Nestor coming in hard on the dodge. Hauser from distance, a snipe. Whoo, boy, that has some speed to it.
And Hauser absolutely tears one into that net. I mean, that step down had something to it. It was an absolute laser from his stick to the back of the net. And this Tufts bench is absolutely loving it as Hauser, the freshman, just an exciting moment for these underclassmen, able to come into this game and make an immediate difference.
I mean, we talked endlessly today about the senior snipers in Swank and Brune, Niles. I think I might have found the next Tommy Swank.
Yeah, Hauser, just a great take. Correct me if I'm wrong, Riley, but I believe that's his first career goal. And just an exciting way to get one, really.
Yeah, that's what I have, too.
And in the first face-off win in what feels like a long, long time for this Bates team, and about 2 minutes left, we'll get one final look, I imagine, at this Bates offense.
Oh, what a save there by Friedman.
Adventurous check there from Cam Keogh. And Bates with 1:50 left. I mean, you'll get one last offensive possession, so might as well call a timeout or it'll burn a hole in your pocket on the bus ride home. So they'll draw something up here with 1:50 and hope to find some success against this Jumbo's defense.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk. I mean, this is a perfect chance to talk about takeaways. And I think the number one takeaway, you can talk about the offense all you want. The Jumbos did not play their starting goalkeeper, Connor Garzone, today. They gave up 7 goals. This has been probably the best defensive performance we've seen all year.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's 7 goals on 24 shots, and that's just the type of performance you love to see from your defense, and not just your starting defense, because there's been a lot of new guys and new faces on this team. Just a really dominant defensive performance. I think this Jumbo's defense just doesn't get enough credit with how electric and how flashy their offense is and their ability to score goals. That starts on the other end where you're able to create takeaways, you're able to generate turnovers, and you're able to play in transition. You just can't say enough about this Jumbo's defense and the ability to generate offense from the defensive side.
Yeah. While we are waiting on this timeout, we can tell you, looks like the Jumbos are going to have to wait until Saturday to clinch a home playoff game, as Amherst looks set up 4 with 1:40 to go to beat Conn College. The Jumbos have clinched themselves at least a top 5 spot in the NESCAC tournament. With a win against Wesleyan, they can guarantee themselves a first-round home game, and they are now, after this win here tonight, 2 more wins away from a guaranteed first-round home game and home field advantage throughout the NESCAC tournament.
Yeah, and just can't talk about how excited I am for the potential home playoff game. Just a great atmosphere here at Bello, especially when the alumni and the fans come out.
Yeah, you want to talk excited. if the women take care of their business this weekend, we could be sitting here the next time we talk to you midweek next week, as that's going to draw a foul. It's going to use all their timeouts. We could be talking to you next week knowing that we will have a doubleheader of NESCAC quarterfinal games here on Bello Field.
Yeah, and great heads up there, play there from the Bates coaching staff, calling a timeout before that looked like Brunings was just absolutely lit up behind the net for a turnover. And no real adjustments, I imagine, are being made here with 1:45 left in the game now. Probably more of the same and just trying to wind this one down, maybe get another goal on the tail end of this one.
Absolutely. I mean, you kind of just go into these last, whatever it is, just under 2 minutes. Honestly, you're focused at this point not on a team but on individuals. You're focused on what do you see out of someone like a Brooks Hauser in these last minute 46. What can you find from a player? And a really good aware play there from Cole Friedlander as a freshman, calling out to his teammate that there were too many pulls, preventing the Jumbos from getting called for that infraction.
Yeah, in 1:45, looks like 48 seconds on the shot clock, so looks like this will be the Bobcats' final possession of today, and have to see what they drew up here coming out of that timeout.
Oh, good spin move inside out, and that one will be saved by the Jumbos. Ball bouncing all over the place. Jumbos have to save it, and they do. Still bouncing all over the place. Out to collect is Friedman. And the Jumbos have 8 seconds to clear. They got to go. And just going to try and chuck it, and that'll work. We'll see if the Jumbos look for a shot. Won't matter. They were offsides. Too many poles.
Hard to tell what the call was there. It looked like there were still 3 players back, but now with a minute left in this game, the shot clock will effectively be off for the rest of this one. And again, if you're this Bates offense, you cannot just burn this clock out. You need to use this as an opportunity to work on the things that you've been talking about throughout the game. See if you can put one in the back of the net.
And a shot and a nice save there by Friedman. And I mean, we'll talk Bates. I mean, sure, if you're Fitzsimons, you've done a lot for this program. You've been a really great starting goalkeeper through a really tough stretch, through the pandemic. But you might have just found yourself volley pipped by Drew Nias. Because it would be very hard for me to imagine, as the Jumbos nearly got a behind the back one from DeGrasse there. It would be almost impossible for me to imagine that Drew Nias is not starting on Saturday.
Yeah, he's just had a great performance today, and
that one just pops off the stick, and that'll do it here at Bello. Final score in this midweek NESCAC showdown. The Bobcats get 7, but the Jumbos put up 20, and the #1 team in the country proves why they're the #1 team in the country. Niles, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think just an overall dominant performance from this Jumbos team on both ends, but I think most importantly is how successful they were at the face-off X today. Not just Mason Cone, but Salcedo and some of the players we haven't seen as much of, such as Tatekos. Just dominant no matter who they're putting on the wing, no matter who they're facing. When you're able to generate possession after possession, and not just easy ones, but also in transition, that's the type of thing that can kickstart an offense even when it gets stagnant. And for the Bates team, another frustrating loss, but I think you can take a lot away from this one, especially finding a goalie like Nias in the net. Just a great performance from him today.
Stay tuned for a post-game interview momentarily.
Let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Here post game with Tommy Swank. Tommy, 7 goals in that dominant win over Bates. What is the feeling after such a career night?
I'm just really happy that our team came out and rebounded after a hard-fought win down at Con last week. So I think it was just a product of everyone coming out and doing their thing and having their roles covered, and made it easy on the back end for me.
What's the feeling in a game like tonight when you're not just playing for yourselves, you're playing for a cause tonight?
I think it's just a little added motivation. Come out and we have our community out here that we have to represent, Tufts as well as the men's lacrosse team, and it's just put on messages that we really care about, and have great exposure to a great community.
Obviously, the big news this week was you guys going to number 1 in all the polls. How much does that change the mentality, knowing that every team in the country is now gunning for you guys?
I don't think it changes that much, honestly. I think every single day we come out here and we just do our thing, and it's great. It's great to see our the Tufts name at the top of the list. But I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to just every team's going to have us at the top of their list every single week, and we have a big target on our back, and I think it just pushes us even more every single day to be the best we can be.
Last question before I let you go. What's the mentality going into the weekend, knowing a win against Wesleyan guarantees you a first-round home game in the NESCAC tournament right here on Bello?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep doing our thing, keep winning, keep playing hard. Every ground ball, every shot, everything matters. So just carry what we do, keep doing our thing.
All right, thanks, Tommy.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night.